you cannot join. All right, are we all in now? I have just we have very few participants. Please, let's join. It's just fun. It's fun, nothing serious. Okay. All right. If you're done, let me know so I can lock the room. Oh, sorry. I see. I was just gonna hide this. Yep. Okay. All right. I think we have a very good number of us in. So in 10, I'm gonna lock it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, it's locked. All right, are we gonna start? Okay. All right, we're gonna start. So we're just gonna ask us some basic questions, and if you know the answer fast is based on fastest finger actually. Okay? Yeah. All right. What does AI stands for? AI, what does it stand for? You press the color that is in your... You press the color. They can see from the back. It's full screen actually. You good now? So when it asks you the questions, you're gonna see the color code on your phone. Then you're gonna click on the color code based off the answer, what you think is the answer. Are we good? Are we good? Okay. All right. Who said AI is always incorrect? Okay. Thank you for adjusting the projector. Who did that? All right. Good stuff. All right. We're going to go to the next question right now. Oh, yeah. Exit. Okay. Thank you. Isaac, good job. All right. So let's go. Next question. Which AI tool is designed to have conversation with users? This is the same thing we just talked about right now. So I hope somebody's not going to say firewall. All right, good job. Let's go to the next. What is prompt in generative AI? Server restart, password reset, an instruction given to AI, database backup. What is prompt? Okay. Who said database backup? Anyways, yeah. All right. James, I see you. when AI confidently gives you incorrect information, it's called what? Virtualization, normalization, hallucination, replication. We talked about it right now. Okay, let me see. Okay. Wow. Who said virtualization? Jesus. Or normalization. Okay. It's all good. We're learning. All right. James, you're on fire. Which statements about AI is correct? AI drinks coffee during maintenance. AI response should be verified. AI is always accurate. AI never needs human review. Let me see your thought process here. Okay. James, what's going on? What does LLM stands for? Limited logic memory, long loading machine, large language model, Linux logging manager. Wow. Who said limited logic memory and the Linux logging manager? LLM, we just talked about a large language model, okay? All right. Everything we're doing is based off what we talked about here. So, so guys, pay attention. What helps an AI model learn? Changing keyboard, restarting router, AI, large monitor, training data. We talked about all of this right here. So, all right, are we good? Okay. Who said checking the keyboard? Jesus. Man, are you a comedian? It must be the comedians here. MCPC, is that you? Which hardware is commonly used to train AI? USB, GPU, printer, mouse. The screen itself will tell you what it is. All right. The person that will say is mouse. Well, if I say mouse, Jesus, man, you guys need an award. If you say mouse, let me see your hands. You got it right. You got it for real. I'm just kidding. All right. James, who are you? Oh, I see you. Generative AI can create what? Text, image, all of the above, and
you can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects.
it literally can do everything. So
Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new
Jesus.
where you can
Who said? Okay.
Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality.
Let's just move on. Okay. Which of these examples? Oh, which of these is an example of sensitive information? Public job posting, database password, today's weather, a public company website. Sensitive information. Okay. All right. Should you paste production database credential in the public AI tool? Some of us do it. You just copy the entire query and paste it. And you copy both, including your service account, everything into, you know. Who is this saying on Fridays? Okay. All right. What is machine learning? If you understand, okay, let me not say it. All right. Before AI, there's pattern recognition. You should know that. So, yeah. What is the main job of a chatbot? We talked about it right here. We talked about it. Okay. Eh? Okay. Who is saying increase internet speed? Who is that person? You are the one. All right, let's go to the next. All right, I'll just be moving real quick so that we can get it. You say, what can improve an AI response? See, typing everything in uppercase. Jesus. We talked about it right now. Okay? All right. Perfect. Who say typing everything in uppercase? No. All right. I'm just going to be moving. Which prompt is better? I want to see. We just talked about clear and precise. Something. So, all right. Let's go to the next. James, what's going on? What does NLP stands for? All right, I'm just going to skip to the next. So, yeah, it's natural language processing. So, all right, so let's go to the next. All right. You say, what is AI bias? When SQL refuses to run when AI produces unfair results because of data or design. We talked about this. All right. Someone say when chatbot prefer dark mode. What? All right. He said, what does human in the loop mean? We talked about this. All right, let me just skip. Perfect. Guys, pay attention. I know it's fastest finger, but all right. We're almost done. Yeah. All right, we're just going to do 10 seconds and we'll skip. Fastest finger, 10 seconds. You literally can. Oh, let's talk about this. Everybody's just like, Literally can do everything anyways. Double points. Before running AI-generated SQL in production, you should what? If you don't review it, it's going to... okay. All right. So some of us will just copy it and paste it, boom, and run. You know? Yeah. All right. Next. We're almost done. What is RAG in AI? Okay. So because of time, we're just going to move. All right. Mickey J, what's going on? Yeah. Why is RAG useful? Okay. Right. Thank you. Next. Well, let's see who's at the top right now. Mickey J, what's going on? James, I was waiting for you. All right. It's because of the double point. What is natural network loosely inspired by? Okay. This is simple though. The screen itself, the picture will give it out. All right. Let's go because of time. What is deep learning? All right. Because of time, good job, guys. Next, we have very few questions to go. Can AI completely replace database administrators? And this one is like this, but not as soon as possible, though. All right, next. So, what is the safest way to use generated AI? Technical advice, okay? Trust every answer. Is that what you said? I'm sorry for you. All right, next. Mickey J, what's going on? Double points. We have 7 more questions, about 10 more questions to go. We'll just make it quick. Who is responsible for generated AI code break in production? The person who did. Okay. That's why we talked about code review. Okay. You put anything there, you break it. It's going to be quick. Okay. Okay. All right, we said there's going to be a prize for the winner, so please. Okay? Why might an AI-generated SQL query perform poorly? Think about it before you answer. And some of us, you might not understand the entire structure of the database, of course, because some of us, we just put all of the stuff, everything there. So, 29, okay, we have 10 more questions to go. Hope we're good. 10. Oh, did I just click on it? Oh, sorry. Okay. What is the perfect combination for using AI at work? All right, the last question. Let's see who is going to get it. Who is going to go with the gift? An AI writes delete from employee without where clause. What should you do? All right. Let's see who's the winner. Let's see the winner. Let's see the winner. Hey! Yeah. Oh. Who is Papa? Oh! No.
No.
We're gonna give it to the next person.
No.
We're gonna give it to.
No.
We're gonna give it to James.
Yeah,
We're gonna
James.
give it to James.
James, yeah. No.
We're gonna give it to James.
You see, where we come from, when we shout no like that, you know what we say? We no go green. We no go green.
All right, thank you guys for your time.
Please, a round of applause for Mr. Ken Rollins. Thank you so much. I actually joined at question 12 or 13, yet I still got 21,928 points. I think I lost only about 2 or 3 questions, and I never knew I was this sound. Information technology. Whoa, no knowledge is lost. All right, that's good. So our next keynote speaker is an AI solutions architect and founder of Jovan Consulting Group, blending a background in data analysis, business intelligence, and engineering with PMI PMP delivery discipline. He designs governed multi-agent AI systems and applies the agent framework, which is through Harvard Data Science Initiative, to redesign business workflows for agentic execution. Wow, terminologies. He is AISA certified and PMI CPMIA credentialed with all the alphabets. Please help me welcome Mr. John O. Nwoko. All the alphabets.
Hi, everyone. So please give me a few minutes. Let's set up those on Zoom, and then I'll do the presentation. I guess this is one area where we need to check whether AI would have done a better job setting up the presentation instead of humans, right? All right, sorry for the delay, guys. It's everybody ready for this session? Awesome. So I know that many of you probably know about architecture. So architecture is a term, or let's say a discipline that has been around for a while. We've had data architecture, right? Business intelligence architecturing, and then IT architecturing. So it's not really a new term. But anytime a new technology comes up, we need disciplines or resources to be able to take that new technology and embed it into organizations, right? So currently there is a role that is significantly tied to AI architecture. And what I intend to do today with you guys is to kind of like give you an understanding, or maybe bring your mind to the fact that AI architecture doesn't stand on its own, and it needs to be tied to value in business. That's the essence of this presentation. Does that make sense? Okay. So great. So I'm a big copyright person. I didn't present or do these slides myself. So I want to give credit to Emmanuel Techimensi, who wasn't able to make it today. He is a fellow solution architect as well in AI, and I'm doing this presentation on his behalf. Okay, so we take the first term on the first slide, and I make a bold statement. I say that the AI race is over. Why do I say that? The reason why we say that is not because we are still not advancing in AI growth or AI technology. The reason why I say that is that AI has gotten to the point where it can bring value. That's the reason why I say that, right? So we are at a point where you can pick AI, and if you design the solution properly, you are able to put AI into a business workflow within a business, and you can actually gain value from it. We've already crossed that already. Nobody denies the fact that you have AI being able to perform actions or being leveraged in businesses now. But I guess the question that remains is the AI value race. How do you ensure that you are able to put AI into your business and you're able to derive value out of it? Initially, when AI came up, a lot of people were running more as proof of concepts, right? It's not tied to any business value. It wasn't tied to strategy. It was more POC. Does this really work? More trying to test the technology, right? So, for example, maybe you have AI for social media applications. You try and use Higgsfield to generate social media posts. You try and use AI to automate some kind of like, recruiting process, right? To filter out your applications and then fetch out your best candidates to interview, etc., right? It was more tested. It wasn't tied to anything. But these days, companies that are willing to spend a lot of money, with AI, the C-suite needs to ensure that whatever they sign off, whatever investment, because tokens, infra, and everything is not cheap, it needs to be tied to a business proposition or business strategy or value. It needs to be measured. Before you try and deploy AI, the most important thing for businesses, especially the CFOs, is that they want to understand how does it affect the P&L, right? And it's really important that I make this clear. If you were doing AI as a hobby at home, maybe you don't care. You have a $200 subscription, you are fine. But if you're going to be implementing AI in a bigger organization, then obviously that is important for us to look at. How do we bring value? Measuring or rooting out or planning exactly how you're going to, measure out the value from a standpoint of whether you are increasing costs or you are decreasing costs, and you are increasing productivity. So I want to leave that with you to think about. It's the bedrock for most organizations currently who are trying to bring value out of AI. Okay, so value may mean several things, right? To an employee, probably means that less searching from Google. Many of us use chat or chatbots. So you're doing less searching, you're providing better context, you get better results, right? For an entrepreneur, it may mean that you have a scalable workflow product that you are putting out. And then for a business, it could mean retain revenue and lower replacement cost. So I want us to meet Charles. Please, if you have a friend called Charles or Charles, this is not you, purely fictitious, right? So Charles is meant to be a customer. And Charles is about to leave. Charles says that maybe this is a mobile phone company. Charles has been on the service or with the career for a couple of years, and Charles is like, man, maybe the next career is providing me something better, and Charles is considering leaving. And there are many Charleses like that. But the business sits in the back. They have their CRM systems, they have their billing systems, they have several systems, but they do not know that Charles is making the decision whether to stay or leave and join another service provider. But it took the company $500 to acquire Charles, maybe through some kind of like social media ad, maybe some promotion they ran, and then they got Charles, right? To retain him, maybe they spend $50 every month or every year to retain him. But the lifetime value of Charles for the business is $100K. So if Charles leaves as an individual, you have a potential of leaving $100K. So the problem here is not an AI problem first. It's a value problem. How do you value your customer, right? And what are you willing to do to keep the customer? So like I mentioned earlier, Charles is just one customer, but if you have 100,000 Charleses, then it's not just one customer problem, it becomes an enterprise problem. So you have 1 million customers in the business. It is known that normally 10% of these customers can churn or are likely to churn, and then that translates into 100K at risk for customers that are churning. And then we look at the lifetime value in the earlier slides. You multiply that out, that's a lot of money you're going to lose. So this is where we ask ourselves, what can we do and how can we leverage AI to prevent this from happening? I remember a few years back, before we even got into AI, I read an article that was written by Bill Gates, and he said that there will be a time where there will be a digital nervous system, just like the body. So the idea is that your body is able to react to sensors. Maybe you touch something that is hot, you pull away, you realize that it's raining, automatically you want to find shelter, right? So a digital nervous system is also meant to be something that picks up information from the outside world and adapts. So you could implement a system like that. Let's say you are an airline, and then you have a route from New York to, let's say, Texas, right? And then your customers are charging, your competitors are charging maybe price X for that route. And then immediately your AI system goes out there, scrapes the web, and then sees the pricing average, and then automatically reduces your price by taking an action to make you more competitive in real time. That is how we want to think about AI for business value, especially for reducing cost or being competitive. Because before it takes a regular human to go scrape the net, right, build a report, create a report, and then notify a human being, and then somebody has to make a decision to update the records, man, your competitors have already sold out the tickets and the route is full. But with AI, we're able to introduce a certain level of speed in workflows. So all of that is done with AI and it's seamless. So we intend to look at it that way and then see how we can apply the same situation to 100,000 Charleses, like we've said here. So the question that we may want to ask is that how do we identify the right customers who want to churn, intervene at the right moment? Intervening at the right moment is the difference between keeping that customer, keeping the value, or losing them. And then also, obviously, retaining profitability. We've gone through an age where we have had, data as a moat with most organizations, right? So the data age is past. We know how to do ETL pipelines. We know how to create data warehouses. We know how to build reports. We have several systems that keep the information in ERP, CRMs, etc. But it's always going to be a problem. I remember back in the day where I used to be a lot involved in reporting and ETL. We have several meetings with businesses or the business team. And the idea is that we are trying to figure out what KPIs they are trying to observe, right? So we build all these reports for them, and then it runs maybe batchly every night. Or maybe for operational reports, you try and give them a near real-time report. Before the insight surfaces for a human to take a decision, you would have lost this customer because it takes weeks. Sometimes we are doing weeks building the reports. Sometimes we are doing weeks running the reports with errors, etc. So that was an old way of doing things. And then we have AI that can take data from several systems, look into several systems, and then be able to give you the same insight. So the idea is that we're going to be leveraging AI to take advantage of all the fragmented data, artifacts that we have within the organization, and then help us to solve this problem to retain our value. Churn prediction has been around forever. How many people know that? Like a regular ML, model that you can use to train or you train can easily give you churn prediction. So we noticed that the problem is not the churn prediction because the technology is there, but it's how to leverage it properly. So the problem is changing the outcome before Charles leaves. That is what we want to do. So the things and the questions that we ask ourselves, maybe as a solution architect or a chief AI officer in an organization, is who is likely to leave? Why are they likely to leave? Which customers are worth retaining? It's sad to say that sometimes not all customers maybe are worth the money if you do your analysis, but it's the business truth. Then also what intervention should happen, right? And then who approves consequential actions? A prediction has no value until it improves a decision or action. The beautiful thing is that now we have AI able to take the action on your behalf, but we recommend that you always put in the human in the loop factor for review to make sure that a customer that may be profitable may not have been flagged accidentally as an invaluable customer, and then we lose them. Yes, so now we come to the architecture part. It doesn't sit outside of just the business, right? So you look at strategy, you look at governance, data governance, etc. You look at the problem, and then you tie to the value which we've talked about. So we come up with a goal. Obviously, the goal here is to ensure that we keep the 100,000 chances that we've identified. And then we go down to the problem, and then the engineering part comes in where we have our workflows. We find the data to help us to make those things. We put in AI, and then we put in controls, and then we have a feedback system where the AI system you've put into place is used as a learning path for the next iteration of problems that you want to solve. So we want to put in there that value is created when intelligence reaches a decision, changes an outcome, and teaches the organization something. All right. So AI creates value from end to end. Value comes from the whole system, not just a model. So sometimes we have the notion that AI is the LLM, that we have like Anthropic models like ChatGPT for OpenAI or Opus, etc. But AI itself in terms of value is not just one model. It's a set of systems, practices that come together with people, right, to ensure that we have a system that we can get value from. So we want to look at outcomes, use cases you want to use AI for, most importantly, data. In all my years of study and with the advent of AI, I've come to learn, and everybody says that AI is about an 85% data problem. So all the data engineers in the house, your job is secure. Without data, AI is going to go nowhere. You need data to train a model. You need data for inference. It's part of it. The models obviously are important, and then the workflows. Workflows are not AI native. So workflows are business processes that you have within business departments, and it defines the way they execute their work to see value come to them, right? The thing is that many workflows that we've had were human-centric. So you find a business process is more tied around the human being, right? It wasn't designed for AI agents. Currently, we are looking at re-engineering business processes and workflows to make them more AI-centric. So let me give you an example. You have a process where, let's say, a customer service manager needs to do customer service intelligence on a couple of prospects. As a single individual with a computer, and let's say you having access to a tool like Perplexity, right? You take one customer, you research them. It's sequential. Once you are done, you get the key insights you want to get about the customer, you write them down, you go to the next person, right? And then maybe you're doing it for the next 5 or 10 customers, and then you're going to go back and evaluate the best 3 you should work on. That is a painful sequential process that a human being will do, because human beings, we are not able to parallel process items, right? But if you use an AI agentic system or an AI agent, guess what? You can spin up more than 3, 4, 5, up to 6 or up to 10 AI agents to do the same work for you, and then you save valuable time. So it is important that we look at workflows in our current systems and know that workflows must be optimized when we get ourselves into the AI agentic framework or world, right? And then we do have governance. Governance is an age-old system that is really important. AI governance is not too far away from, let's say, data governance. But we need to have governance for ownership. I always say that AI is not a legal person. For companies who have used AI to try and fill out, let's say, law responses or gone to court or prepare documents that they've submitted to their clients, and they found to have errors in them, you cannot go argue that the AI wrote it. Somebody needs to be responsible for it. So that's what governance tends to deal with the whole concept of human in the loop. Then comes the place of measurement, right? How would you know if value has been added if you don't have a system to measure what was and then what is today? So measurement is really important to bring that confidence for AI deployments in organizations or even in your personal life. And then obviously adoption. Adoption comes where governance instills trust. and then you can literally measure the value of where you are coming or what you are getting from AI as value, and it's easier for organizations to now adopt AI. So we'll say that AI creates value, like I said earlier, from end to end, and that should be the goal of you implementing AI. Okay, so do not begin with, we need AI. I think that is one of the mistakes that you can do in your mind. It's not every problem that needs AI. I hear that most companies now, when they set up interviews for AI engineers or AI architects, they like to ask you, what would you use AI for? And then what would you not use AI for? If it's not broken, the word is done what? Don't fix it. Don't go add another layer and cost, because AI comes at a cost. So if you don't need AI to fix it, don't use AI. You need to really check your workflows and be sure that this is where you need AI before you deploy it. So for strategic goals, we need AI when we want to do profit and growth. The value pool is protecting recurring revenue, a business problem, avoiding churn like we've just seen, and then value hypothesis, earlier, better intervention, retains profitable customers. So this is meant to be a system that is much more reactive, it's much more, intervention in this particular case that we've given. We had this Gartner chart for reporting and analytics maturity, and AI kind of like sits there. They didn't call it AI then. They called it much more of a predicting system, or a system that is able to give you insight. But we realized that AI has given us the ability to layer on top of our existing data infrastructure and then come to that maturity level that we want to get to. So reducing AI churn is not the strategy. It is the lever that supports profitable growth. All right, so I have this complicated chart I'm going to try and get you to understand. It's mostly like a summary of all the stuff we've been doing. So we said that the signals existed in different siloed systems, right? So AI will help you as an architect, if you are designing this, get all of these signals, push it into an LLM infrastructure that you've built around it. Then we have the human in the loop in there that is observing the results from the AI system and then checking out what is valid, what is not valid, doing the human intervention and approval so that there's an ownership in there, and then moving on to give the customer a response. And then obviously the outcome is that the customer that should have left, right, because maybe they were having like billing issues that were not being resolved, or they needed just to be given, let's say, a $10 gift card to retain them for the full life cycle. We intercept them and they feel that they've been listened to or they've been heard, and then they stay. How many of you, agree that sometimes all it takes for you to stay with a company or a subscription that you didn't want to stay with because you made a call, somebody heard you and like, hey, don't worry, I'll give you a discount, right? So they have all these intelligence systems now that rate you and say, okay, maybe I should engage this person from this angle, and I'll get them to stay. It's difficult to convince me to stay when I make up my mind to move away. So good luck, AI, trying to get me to stay. That's just by the way. All right. So AI patterns follow the job to be done, right? So we have predictive AI, who is at risk. And we all saw RAG in the quiz, right? How many of us knew what RAG was just before the quiz or during the quiz? Beautiful. So RAG is really important in this age of AI because LLM models are trained on several data sources, but you want to provide much more context. So RAG is really important. And then we have generative AI systems that generate new information for us. And obviously the newest and latest AI craze is agentic AI and orchestration. And then obviously you cannot leave out the human decision making in the back as well. So as an architect, or if you're doing architectural work, these are the main areas that you should be thinking about, right? From the business value all the way down to how the system is implemented, the problem you are trying to solve, the data that is available there, the governance things you put in there, etc., etc. And I think I made mention yesterday that this is not a one-man thing. There are various disciplines that go into this. So for a system like this to be built, obviously you have your CAIO, who sits on the executive or C-suite. He works with the solution architect to change the strategy into execution and monitoring and adoption. And then you have all the other roles that come with it, AI engineers, you have ETL engineers, you have AI ML model trainers who train the model, and then ensure that the models are kept, away from model drift. They are doing the same thing and data drift. And the most important part of it is you keeping the model or your AI solution working in production. That is the most critical part of it.
Sorry, quick question.
Yeah.
Based on the pattern you have there on the screen right now, right, in terms of the other pattern, things, predictive AI, generative AI, agentic AI, that has been elaborated, several times during the conference. But one thing that within the break sessions that people keep asking is understanding RAG. Can you just please put a little bit more emphasis into what RAG does?
Okay. So we all know that if, let's say, for example, I do give you a set of questions, or I give you, I ask you a question. Your ability to answer that question will be based on the information that you have, right? So assuming, let's say, you were a math teacher, and I ask you questions about math. The context is smaller for you. You give me a specific answer, right? And it's much more detailed. But let's say, for example, if I did give you a question, you're a math teacher, and I gave you an English question, you realize that the context that you have or your knowledge that you have will be insufficient to make a good choice like that, right? And we all know that AI systems, the large language models are trained on large volumes of data. Some of this data may not include your organizational data, right? So for you to sit or root your AI system into your organizational knowledge, you need to implement a RAG. It's nothing but a vectorized version of the data that you have within your organization that is made available for the AI to infer from, so that they don't go try answer your business questions with the data that it got trained with at the training time, right? So it grounds it in business information and data. I hope that helps. There's a lot of information about RAG, but this is the brief summary of it, yeah. And it prevents hallucination. It's a hallucination prevention technique. So yeah, AI can act, the more AI can act, the more boundaries you need to give. So this is the governance part. So Copilot is meant to be something that assists the human. An autopilot system actually takes decisions, but what you need to do with the autopilot system is that you need to bound the tasks that it can do and then allow humans to handle the exceptions, right? So it's done across operating models, trust and governance, and financial ops. And then this is how agentic systems are put together. I do have one I wanted to demo, but unfortunately I got here, I tried to reach my server, it's off. But if you see these agentic systems, man, you'll be blown away by what you can achieve using AI, especially if you tie it to a value, right? So trust is not a review at the end. Trust is something that you need to put in every step of the way from the beginning. And it is with governance. Even from the word go, if you have an AI project, you need to check the data that I want to use. Is it data that is governed by some rules that I cannot access? If the data you want to use is not readily available and there's some kind of restriction on it, don't continue with your AI project because you'll be breaking some laws, right, around governance. So who can access the data? Charles's data in this particular case is important. We need to have explainability, why Charles was flagged as somebody who was going to leave. We need to do evals to evaluate whether the prediction model is doing the right thing every time. We need to have observability into the system to check what the system is doing. And obviously the human oversight, that will really confirm and take ownership at the end of the day for the decision. So usage is not value. Accuracy is not value. So what value means the outcome improved. Safety, profitability, and repeatability. The business value was seen. The workflow value was seen. The AI quality remains grounded. And trust and economics, obviously. Everything is about money. We're not doing it because we just want to demonstrate that AI can work, but we need the value part of it. So did the economics change for Charles's case? So customer at risk was $100,000. Intervention cost $50 each. The total program cost $5 million. If 10% got retained and we have 10,000 customers, future value preserved is $1 billion. Illustrative value before other costs is maybe $995 million because we also add operational cost and cost of tokens as well to this business case. So architecture assumptions are now changed into a measurable value hypothesis for the business to realize the value of AI. It is known that if your AI initiatives, your first one doesn't get the value it needs, second one the business will lose confidence in your ability to deliver, or even the whole AI incident or project. So one of the advices that I got from a mentor is that if you're picking an AI value for a new project, pick the easiest workflow first. If you deliver the easiest one first, it builds the confidence. Then you have lessons learned. Then you move on to the next. And then you take the more difficult ones first. Don't go for the most difficult one and fail in the first instance. So outcome must teach the system something new. We already covered that. So that system becomes a feedback loop that goes back into your AI system you've done for this particular use case. And then it becomes better as you move along. So 7 questions to architect for value. What strategic outcome matters, right? If you don't take anything away, please take this away. Number 2, what problem prevents it? Number 3, the decision or workflow must improve. Then number 3, what data and context are required? Number 5, which AI pattern fixed the task? And then number 6, what control makes it trustworthy? Number 7, how will value and learning be measured? All right, so I'll come back to the first statement we made. The AI value race has begun. The winners will not be the organizations with the most AI. It's not about having all the models. The winners will be the organizations that best design to turn intelligence into value. Thank you so much. I hope you guys learned something. All right.
Thank you. Round of applause one more time for Mr. John. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Please, I need help with my laptop. Okay, all right. Are you guys learning so far? Okay, all right. Let me get your attention real quick. Are you guys learning so far? Okay, all right. Good. So if you check around your table, you will notice that there is a magazine on top of, some people were here yesterday, and some of you, I believe you already have it. Please, if you don't have it, make sure you grab a copy. It is free, okay? All of this, wouldn't have been possible without our partners, without our supporters, without MPIT community, for us to be able to do this event free of charge at this magnitude. Please help me put a round of applause to all our partners. So if you open the magazine, you would see some of our sponsors there. We have Heritage Tax and Credit Repair Pros. Please, a round of applause. These guys made it possible. They made your lunch possible. So the best we can do is just give them a round of applause. We have PC Entertainment. Please, a round of applause. Looking for some of the sponsors on the magazine. Please check them out. Okay. And of course, I almost missed that. We also have Foster's Kitchen, y'all. Please, a round of applause. They will hook you up with all small chops, some catering services there. And then, of course, we also have TechBot AI by Tech Skills. Please, a round of applause. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you guys. We have H-Town Printing Services. A round of applause, please. These guys made it possible, for us to enjoy everything that we're enjoying this weekend. We also have Easy Legacy Homes. Please, a round of applause. And of course, MPIT in the house. A round of applause. There is one major partner that I'm looking for. I don't seem to find it somewhere. It is Lion. I don't see it. What page? Daniel's company. Well, I don't see it somewhere. I must have missed it. But hey, we appreciate all our sponsors, all our supporters. So before we move to the next speaker, we have a special person with us today. We call her MPIT First Daughter. She is a product of MPIT, and every year we have released this magazine, and we usually feature one of ours, and just celebrating them and having them tell us their stories. And of course, this year we have the single honor of featuring Foster Chanji. She's in the house. Please, a round of applause. And in 5 minutes, I'm going to invite Foster. Please give Foster a round of applause. She's going to be here, and because we give her the title of MPIT First Daughter, she's going to be here to tell you